The sun's barely gone, engine scream. Monday night don't mean no dream. Dirt track prepped, clay packed tight. This town's awake for a full throttle fight. Steel and rubber, row on row. Different rides, but one thing's known. When the green flag starts to wave, only the fearless get brave. Tracks keep changing, setups too. New lines, new battles, nothing new. It's Monday Night Mayhem. Hear the thunder roar. Brought to you by Knuckleheadz Racing. Always wanting more. Cars all ready, drivers insane. Fearless under lights, born for the strain. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Hell yes they can. 1 week slick, next week rough. Short track tight, then a mile of dust. Late models, mods, sprints and flight. Every lap's a test on a Monday night. No comfort zone, no easy way. Adapt or get left in the clay. Grip disappears, lines fall apart. That's where you separate the men from the heart. It's a Monday Night Mayhem, no holding back. Knuckleheadz Racing, putting skill to the track. Under the lights, every move is loud. Fearless drivers, knuckleheads proud. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Broadcast live, calling every slide. Is Bob the man from down under, right by our side. Every pass, every bump, every stand, bringing the action coast to coast, lap by lap. When the groove fades and the cushion's gone, Knuckleheadz drivers just digging strong.
Alright, BobbethTV is live. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Sorry, I had double outputs happening there. Let's try that again. BobbethTV is live. You know what that means? Blood Mule TV. Another episode is live. I've got 2 races coming your way. iRacing League. Let's start off with... Come on. There we go. The Dirt Big Block Modifieds here at Knoxville Raceway, Knoxville, USA. This is the bottom feeder Speed Coast Monday Modified Mayhem. We've started a little bit late into practice. We're going to get straight down to the track and check out some time, see who is here. 15 drivers registered for tonight's race. Second plane has a quick time of an 18.301. Mike Butler 18.352. Mikey Mixter 18.405. Travis McDonald 18.445 and 18.482 for Randy Dixon. That is the top 5. John Bennett in 6th with a 14.8. Sorry, an 18.482 as well. Same time as Randy Dixon, currently coming 14.8. Sorry, 18.483. I don't know why I kept saying 14. 18.483. Brian Angels there with an 18.519 and 18.545. Teammate Brent Vanderwood. Jonathan Foxworth will round out our top 10 quickest drivers with 18.694. Wayne Bridges with an 18.725 and 11th quickest squad. Quickest Mike Mad Dog Davis 18.738. 18.808 Chris Perotta. Matthew and Tom Land round out our 15 car field in 14th to 15th with an 18.927 and an 18.935 respectively. About a minute or so to go. Practice minute and a half. Before we get over to qualify, what's the last draft been like? 1906, 92, 91, 94. Caught yesterday, didn't catch yesterday's broadcast. Travis McDonald. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the win yesterday. Jim Revis picked up the win. Dirt Warrior Racing in the UMPs. Normally show up in the street stock part of the Sunday night broadcast, but showed up for the UMPs, recognised they needed to get the points pretty good in the UMPs, and picking up the win is definitely max points. So good effort there, Jim. Not here tonight, so we'll have a new winner in our next race. Side by side, slide line there. Might be a sign of things to come. All right, practice is done. We're going to jump on over to qualifying. It's going to be the first ones out there. Ken McLean, it looks like. Randy Dixon is about to get out there, as well as Matthew Land. Well, thank you for the share, Kelly. Appreciate you. Good luck out there, brother. Ken McLean, Bud Molyneux. Looks like we might have got a 16th driver registered. I haven't seen Bud in practice. Mike Butler, Randy Dixon, Mike Mixer, Gallagher, Callan, Matthew Land. Quick time is 19.03.4. Ken McLean's last lap, 19.186. 19.05, not the Bud at Molyneux. There's the 19.2s, Randy Dixon, Mike Butler, Wayne Bridges. That is 93.18, just outside the two. Top five even. Randy Dixon, 19.092, Mike Dixon, 19.224. John Bennett, 19.225. Pretty close times there. Race our way. And also, happy Monday, says Mike Davis back at the pack racing. That is Tina Davis. Back at the pack iRacing, Bob. And happy birthday to Josh Roberts. Not racing today, obviously. It is his birthday. Happy birthday, Josh Roberts, Triple Groove Racing team member of John Bennett and Ken McLean. Hope everyone can wish Josh Roberts a happy birthday in the chat, please, if you wouldn't mind. All right, looks like qualifying is done. All 16 drivers are complete. So that would be 3 heats. 5, 5, and 6. Well, 6, 5, and 5 more likely. But, just a minute and a half to go in the qualifying time frame before we get on over to our racing situations. I'm just setting something up on my streamer bot thing, try and get something to work. As looks like we're gridding up, so let's try and get our grid up on our screen. Hope it's going to work tonight. Kent McLean and Jonathan Foxworth will be on that front row. Mikey Mixter, Wayne Bridges second row. Brett Vanderwood and Brian Angel will be that third and final row for the 6-car Heat 1 field. Let's get our racing for tonight started. Thank you, Tina. Wishing Josh happy birthday. Chat, just ignore it while we're rolling around getting this one ready. Alright, I'll worry about that later. Right there, side by side into 3 and 4 for that last time. Pace truck will leave the track. Ken McLean, Jonathan Foxworth, Mikey Mixer, Wayne Bridges, Brett Vanwood, Brian Angel. That is our 6-car Heat 1 field. Pole position up for grabs. Pretty good, yeah, looks like the standard qualifying for the feature. Get pole position, get outside pole. P3 behind pole position, second row. Everyone else sort of staggered behind that as we get going. Playing Jonathan Foxworth, Wayne Bridges, Mikey Mixer, Brian Angel, Brett Vanderwood pretty much follow the leader here at Knoxville so far. Sprint car Hall of Fame in the museum, which is fantastic. Just a moment there. Digging Mafia, good luck out there, guys. The Racing Team's Facebook page has liked the stream. I appreciate you guys. Good luck. Oh, looks out. Brian Angel, the Yoda Outlaws driver, Wayne Bridges. Looks like they've spun out and come into contact. Chris Pryor, thank you for the like. Also, good luck for you with you as well. Caution in the heats, it seems, as we get to the second last lap. Just the 4 on the leaderboard, so 0 on screen. There's first and second, Kent McLean and Jonathan Foxworth. Flag. Oh, Jesus. With a convincing Heat 1 victory there. Second, looks like Jonathan Foxworth, B-Main Bandit. We'll get the full grid up on our screens, full results on our screens in just a moment. There we go. Let's have a look, see if we're going to be... No, it's not going to do it. All right, we have to go to our dumb results. There we go. Brian Angel 6th, 5th, Wayne Bridges, Brett Vanderwood in 4th, 3rd, Mikey Mixter 2nd, of course, Jonathan Foxworth, Kent McLean is our Heat 1 victor. Who's going to join Kent on the outside pole position in the feature race here tonight? Will it be? Let's have a look at the grid. No grid yet. There we go. Bud Molyneux or John Bennett on that front row. Mike Butler or Chris Potter on that second row. Kelly McKellen on that third and final row. Bud's got restart starting in the Heat 2 round here. Right, backstretch into 3 and 4 for the final time. Pace truck will leave the track. We're going to get Heat 2 underway. Kent McLean will find out in 6 short laps who will be starting outside pole position. Bud Molyneux or John Bennett, Mike Butler, Chris Pryor, Kelly McKellen. You'd think Kent McLean would be going for teammate John Bennett in this one. But Molyneux does have the advantageous start. And was better sort of fares after the first lap or two. John Bennett looks like he gets that field acceleration good faster. So it's around on the outside. Bud's back there third behind those two. Bud can throw a bit of a slide line past John Bennett. John will be able to cut under that, no problems. Does give Bud the highline run. So far, might still be Bud as they come out of 2 down that backstretch. 3 laps in, 3 still to come. Ourselves in the battle here for 1 and 2. For 1, 2, and 3, actually, Mike Butler is there, guys. Not returning the slide favour there at all. That's starting to break away a little bit. Pretty tightly packed. It looks like Mike Butler might have a run on John Bennett before this white flag lap, but not able to lock it in there, falls back in behind him. It is Bud Molyneux, John Bennett, Mike Butler, the final lap. Heat 2. Speedco's Monday modified MAYHEM big block modifieds, Knoxville Raceway. Dust up there at the finish, nothing crazy though. Heat 2 comes to a conclusion. Let's see if we can quickly get our results. Kelly McKellen in 5th, Chris Pryor 4th, Mike Butler 3rd, John Bennett 2nd. Bud Molyneux was our first place driver in Heat 2. Alright, third and final heat for the modifieds coming up. Try and get down to the track. There we go, let's get our grid going. It's going to be Swamp Ass Randy Dixon and Travis McDonald on that front row. Mike Mad Dog Davis and Tom Land on that second row. Matthew Land, son of Tom Land, on that third and final row. It's our last heat race for the Monday Modified MAYHEM round of the racing here. We get to our 35 lap feature. First of 2 feature races here tonight. We've also got the Next Gen Cup cars coming up next at Bristol. Oh, pardon me, Bristol Dirt. That one is going to be very interesting. Polly, welcome in. Good afternoon, sir. Well, you're about a minute early, but yes, good afternoon to you too. Welcome in, brother. That'll work. Let's see if this will work. There we go. If you like Grand Theft Auto 5M roleplay, definitely give Polly POV a follow. Check them out when they're live. No worries, Polly. Thanks for jumping in, checking in. It's the Heat 3 of the Bottom Feeder Speed Coast Monday Modified Mayhem Big Block Modifieds here at Knoxville Raceway. Off we go, swan past Randy Travis McDonald off the up the front there. They got a battle side by side, door to door, as Travis McDonald takes the Heat 3 lead. Randy falls back to second. Mike Davis making it from then back to third, fourth, and fifth. Wonder how this compares to Bristol. Some say, depending on the cars and the tracks, and sort of how the track's sort of prepared, so to speak, you can sort of set the state at the start and then it wears away. Some say it's quite realistic, others say it's not, but it's sort of realistic in different ways. But I know real life drivers that swear by it as good seat time practice, and there's been people that have gone from this to real life race car driving. So it's got to be, yeah, there's components that do cross over, which is quite cool. And we do have a couple of real life race car drivers that race in the league and stuff. Randy Dixon still battling up the front here, first and second. Been a little bit of contact here and there, nothing to really upset the apple cart, but just a bit of pressure on each other. Travis McDonald still has that advantage as we come around with two to go. Father and son, Tom and Matthew Land back to fourth and fifth. There's Mad Dog up ahead of him, Moss and Mad Dog Davis. Using third here to meet in this sandwich. Lap. Nice lap to be racing before we get on over to our feature race. Going to try and throw that another up for a slider there. Will come out side by side, but Travis will have that highline momentum run to the start finish line as he turns into Randy, gives him the highest of fives. Matthew Land fifth, Tom Land fourth, Mike Davis finishing in third, Randy Dixon of course second, and that man that just there, the 88, Travis McDonald, he is our Heat 3 victor. As they grid up for first was 35, a lap main event. Kent McLean, Bud Molyneux qualified for the front row. Travis McDonald, Jonathan Fox with the second row. John Bennett and Randy Dixon third row. Mikey Mixter and Mike Butler fourth row. Mike Davis and Brett Vanderwood with a fifth row. Sixth row is going to be Chris Perrotta and Tom Land. Then we've got Wayne Bridges and Kelly McKellen on that seventh row with Matthew Land and Brian Angel rounding out the eighth and final row. Does look like Travis McDonald will be going to the rear of field. So that infield inside line is going to get a promotion. No, it's not. Maybe he is. I'm not sure. Yeah, he has. He's taking a rear of field. So that inside line is going to promote up from Travis McDonald. He's going to go to the rear of field. He won last week's race. So part of that penalty is taking the rear of field. A penalty next week to... just to keep it challenging, keep it sort of fair for everyone. Dry. Already it's in the first half of the broadcast. We've still got one more lot of feature race, heat racing and feature races to go. Next Gen Cup cars. Bristol Motor Speedway up in about half an hour's time. Will be after this race. 35 laps, Knoxville Raceway. Big Block Modifieds, thank you, Bottom Feeder Speed Co and Knuckleheadz iRacing League for putting it all together. Alright, into four we go. This will be the start as the pace truck has left the track. The boys get to the start finish like Kent McLean fires. Teammate John Bennett right there behind him. Bud Molyneux was on the outside. It looks like Bud's going to fall back down that field a little bit off the start, or has that car gained a bit of traction Looked like it had. Yeah, there he is, there, that high line with John Bennett, Jonathan Foxworth, Randy Dixon, it looks like Mr. Mike Butler. 35 lapper underway. Shiny cars, some good paints out there. That 92 Wayne Bridges maybe, that reminds me of like a pilot crumbled. Yeah. Lap battle. The car's getting up to speed. We're watching from the top 10 position with Wayne Bridges. He's quite a killer coming right into Travis McDonald, Matthew Land behind him. Mike Davis, Brett Vanderwood, Mike Butler. All the top five. Mike Davis after the championship with Brett Vanderwood, Mike Dixon. See on the track map there, Ken McLean, our race leader, has broken away from that main pack. He's still in second, but about 1.5 seconds behind. John Bennett's there challenging Jonathan Foxworth, Dixon, Mike Butler, and he hit Mike Dixon, looks like as well. At 10 at 35, almost a third of the way in to this first of two main event battles, and the racing is pretty thick. And the plane has broken away. There is a 7 to 5 pack going on. Second to 6 pack, sorry, 5 car pack behind them, and then the rest of this 16 car field. John Bennett, Jonathan Foxworth, Bud Molyneux, Randy Dixon, Mike Butler. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Let's jump down into the race cockpit and just show you guys what it looks like from their point of view. This is how they see this race. This is Bud Molyneux in fourth place, Jonathan Foxworth, John Bennett third and second ahead of him. We can see Ken McLean ahead of them, 2.3 seconds, 2.2 seconds ahead. So close they get to that wall. Just trying to keep it steady through the turns, keep that speed and pace going. So Jonathan Foxworth able to make that low line work a little bit better. He's trying to chip away that gap with John Bennett. Tom Land brings himself into the top 10. There's Wayne Bridges and Travis McDonald battling for 11th and 12th behind him. I might have fallen back down to the field. John Bennett has, oh no, thought he dropped out there, but it looked like it was just an internet issue. Back on the track, racing where he should be. Yeah, like I say, he was for the internet issues had to be on and off the track for time. Halfway mark of this race, 17 laps have been completed, 17 still to come. Callan in 14th place, Brian Angels 13th, there's Chris Perotta back there behind them. 27 in that string. Right, 21 of 35, it has been green flag racing this entire time. 16 cars, 16 big block modified showed up here tonight at Knoxville Raceway. Ed McLean is dominating a 3.5 second lead over Jonathan Foxworth, the B-Main Bandit, currently second. There's Jonathan Bennett, Ken McLean's teammate in third. Bud Molyneux started the race in second, but is back there in fourth currently. It's still inside that top 5 run. Brady Dixon rounds out our top 5. Mike Butler, Mike Nixon, Brett Bennett, Mike Davis, and Travis McDonald, the 6 to 10. The 11 to 16 is Tom Land, Wayne Bridges, Brian Angel, Chris Potter, Kelly McKellen, and Matthew Land. 23rd lap is so close to ending. There we go, 24 underway. So almost 10 laps. It looks like Bud Molyneux might have come unstuck hitting the infield wall. Mike Butler might have also been unable to avoid. Yeah, I can see Mike Butler back there behind Bud. So it looks like something happened with Bud. Mike not able to avoid it. In contact with John, he tried to check up, came down into the burn, that sent him spinning. And there's Mike Butler just running into Bud Molyneux at the end. Could not avoid contact. Cautions come out with 10 to go. First one for the night. It is really going to help Jonathan Foxworth, John Bennett, Randy Dixon, Mike Butler possibly. Ken McLean not so much. 3.5 second lead reduced back to a possibly one last double wide restart. Alright, might actually be a single file. Oh, nope, I was going to say might be a single file restart, but no. Ken McLean, Jonathan Foxworth, front row. John Bennett, Randy Dixon, second row. Third row, Mike Butler, Mikey Mixter. Fourth row is Brett Vanwood, Mikey Davis. Travis McDonald, Tom Land on that fifth row. Wayne Bridges, Brian Angel, sixth row. Seventh row will be Chris Potter and Kelly McKellen. Matthew Land and Bud Molyneux on that eighth and final row. Right, we are back and racing. It's going to be 26 of 35 when we get this one fully up to speed. 10 to go. Griff in the chat. You playing anything this in the morning? I mean tonight. Yeah. I'm sort of reconsidering Tuesday nights because it's sort of a big day with the double race, and then 5 or so hours later the gaming thing. But yeah, I'm itching to get back to some God of War. So yeah. Feel like it's a thing to do. 7 of 35. Ken McLean, Jonathan Fox, John Bennett, Randy Dixon, Mikey Mixer still for 5. As Ken McLean shows out here at Knoxville Raceway in the big block modified. I was also thinking about possibly getting live after this, just to work on the streamer block, fix up some of those commands that aren't working properly. Probably set things up correctly. But, almost 5 laps remain. Ken McLean, Jonathan Foxes, John Bennett, Randy Dixon, Mike Mixted, Mike Butler, Mike Davis. That is the first to 8th position. 9 to 16, Tom Land, Wayne Bridges, Travis Brian Lincoln, Bud Molyneux. And Matthew Land. McLean has got that lead back up to 1.3 seconds. So this is yes or a no. Yes or a no for the stream tonight? Yes. That is a yes. You don't have to watch the making conversation. No, I've got the schedule. I've got a second stick to it. I may change the schedule eventually, but no, I'm trying to be more better about it and more regular and stuffs. And like I say, I do want to get back to God of War. Fun game. Alright, get through 35. Oh, looks like Travis McDonald, Brian Angel, no, Brett Vanderwood, sorry, and Mike Davis. We're 3 wide, so the worst it's fallen back about 3 spots, back to 12. Finish suit, you never know. Yeah. Energy levels and things like that just produce different, I guess, you know. Oh, 91 just got caught up in the wall. 2 to go, 1 to go, white flag at lap. Our first of 2 main events here tonight's just about complete. Group racing, KP Plumbing, Kent McLean. Up the first victory here tonight. Through each one, see if they stay up long enough for us to get through them. But Matthew Land finished in 16th, Chris Pryor 15th, Brian Angel 14th, Kelly McCallum in 13th, Bud Molyneux in 12th, Wayne Bridges 11th, 10th is Tom Land. Travis McDonald finished in 9th, Brett Vanderwood 8th, Mike Davis 7th, Mike Butler 6th, Randy Dixon 5th, Mikey Mixer in 4th, John Bennett 3rd, Jonathan Foxworth, the Big Man Bandit in 2nd, but Kent McLean, Triple Groove Racing, got the job done and picked up the victory. Let's get him ready for a quick chat. Still about 10 minutes to go, 10-15 minutes to go before the start of the practice session of the Next Gen Cupcast at Bristol Motor Speedway, Dirt Edition. So yeah, we'll fix that up. We'll fill that time in. Griff says, and in a month or so, you're about to shift 2 hours closer to the northern hemisphere, so that could shake things up in a bit too. Yeah, I was considering that for some reason this morning. Earlier this morning, I was laying in bed with it, not being able to sleep. There's like a period where it comes back an hour for 2 weeks, and then 2 more weeks. It's like, well, in April, and then there's a 2 week period where it's another hour or something earlier. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. All right. Interview channel is open. Let's jump on over to the KHR Discord, see if we can't have a chat with Kent McLean. This man dominant all night in the big block modifieds here at Knoxville Raceway. Quickest in practice, got the quick time qualifying heat 1 victory. And at his best, at your best there, Ken, you were, what, about 3.5 second lead before that first caution right at the end of the race came out. I'm guessing big block modifieds Knoxville, when you saw that combination, you were pretty happy coming into tonight? Oh, have we got Ken? Maybe, hang on, let me just check my audio sources.
Are you there? Okay.
There
Sorry,
we go.
I had the button muted. No, it was like I do every race, just get home in time to get on and race. Knoxville, I do like Knoxville. I'm pretty decent in them in the UMPs. The big blocks, it's hit or miss depending on the track. Luckily, it was bottom dominant, so I just rolled the bottom, hug that berm, and let her eat. So
definitely suits you in that respect. It sounds like, I feel like with myself, if I go into the race with little expectation or no expectation, and sort of not really, sort of overthink it, that's when the good stuff generally comes. You're a little bit more relaxed. You're able to sort of find your groove a bit quicker and easier, rather than forcing, sort of a hand in sorts. And yeah, like you say, it was bottom dominant, and you were able to really milk that to your advantage. I mean, that's not to say there wasn't some awesome racing back behind you. The one of the few guys that is one of your mainstay competitors, Travis McDonald, unfortunately, we never like to sort of see anyone not have a good finish, but someone who's constantly really not in the top 5 finished in 9th tonight. That middle pack was just tough. They were so there was just different little groups that were just 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 1-on-1 3-way battles that were going on. Jonathan Fox with John Bennett, Mikey, Randy, Butler was up there for a while as well behind you. They all, it was sort of like you had your race, they had their race type of thing going on, and it was pretty fun to watch. You get out there, but at the same time watching those boys sort of just battling as if they were the top 3 pack, sort of racing for their own little championship back behind you.
Yeah, that during the race, I'd be able to kind of look back and see them too, and I was like, just keep racing each other.
Focus on yourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, I check the relative every once in a while, and I wasn't expecting that type of lead by no means. But I knew when we had that long green flag run, I was like, man, if we can keep this green, I'll have it in the bag. It'll be mine to lose. But and then that restart kind of, it worried me for, because sometimes the track will change. And I'm just running the same line. And that's one thing about being in the lead. It kind of hinders you, because if you're in second or third, you're going to be trying more lines than the lead car. Lead car's going to be sticking to one line, the line he knows and obviously was fast at the start of the race.
Yeah.
But the guys behind you actually have a little bit better of an advantage, because then they're going to try different lines and see what's going to work, So most of the time I don't like leading at the first of the race, because you don't, and unless we're at a track that I do know how it wears, what lines, would it'll probably go to. So like tonight, I was just hoping and praying it stayed bottom dominant, because I ain't gonna lie, this is the first race I actually ran a perfect race, hit my marks every lap and didn't mess up. So I was actually proud of myself on that one. It's usually I mess up a time or two, so I have to gather myself back up. But it was that's why I like the few times I do get a win like this. It's fun going back and watching the actual, the races between all the guys because you can hear them in Discord, cutting up and did you see that or just and you miss it, so. That's I really enjoy going back and watching the broadcast and seeing the actual race
Yep.
itself because it's fun to watch these guys. So.
No, we're looking at the times. So your best time 19:09, and then the closest to that was 19:23, which was Jonathan Foxworth in second place, and then likewise your last lap 19:69. There was a few 19:8s there, 19:78. But yeah, still, consistent at 2/10. It was like I say, I know obviously with that restart, the big concern was, are you going to be able to get that bike, get that momentum sort of going again straight away? And looking at the track, it just, yeah, both the 1 and 3 have this really wide sort of available opening into that inside. It's like the track was sort of just made for your style of racing in terms of leaving just enough slick for you to get that rear right going, but enough bite there to drive you through the turns, and you were doing some insane lap times. I mean, you 2.5 second lead by the end of the race. 3.5 seconds, I think, was the maximum. So, yeah, it definitely didn't take you much time to get back up to speed and get that one going. Now, in saying that, we could not be going to a more different setup track-wise and car-wise next-gen Cup cars on dirt, Bristol Motor Speedway. In fact, now, obviously, Bristol Motor Speedway famously a very different track if you're racing at asphalt versus dirt. Quite a bank track as well. Have you put any practice in next-gen Cup cars on dirt? Do you have any much experience in what they're like on a dirt track?
Uh, we've run trucks and Arkla cars here,
Yep.
I believe,
Yep.
but I don't think any next gen. The trucks are a handful, but they're a blast. So this kind of stuff that really challenges me, I try a lot harder. So um, the crazy, car track combos, and it's kind of like the non-wings. I'll really send it, So it's I'm either going to be top 3 or I'm gonna wreck out in spectacular fashion. So, but it'll definitely put on a good show. So.
I'm very much looking forward to those. It's going to be similar, I think, in style to the SRXs from a few weeks back, where they're just fast cars that it's going to be hang on and hold on. But that's generally if most people say if you're not just holding on, you're not going fast enough. So I feel like it's going to be very suited to this crew's driving style and learning style. I think everyone's just going to be head down, bum up, and much like tonight's race, we're going to see some different guys in the top 5 and the top 10, and may not see sort of some of the we know Travis is probably going to come back strong, but yeah, we may not see some of the battles we're more accustomed to seeing. But it'd be interesting to see who does transfer over. 16 cars here tonight. If we can get all 6 of you over to the next gen Cup cars, that should be a good field for Bristol. I'm looking forward to that. 5 minutes to go before that session opens and your practice session starts. So we'll let you go so you've got time to sort of stretch those legs, check in with the crew chief, etc. Before we let you go, though, brother, friends, family, and sponsors, who do you need to give a shout out to?
Yeah, the wife and kids for letting me do this. Mach 5 race team. Maki Mixer with Bottoms Feeder Speed Company for the logos that I slap on my car. So, and you, Bob, for the broadcast. You always do a good job, and highlight all the guys, and definitely makes it fun to watch. All the admins at KHR, and definitely all the guys. Huge shout out because I mean these car counts are awesome. We're really proud of that, and That's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, look, best of luck with the Next Gen Cup cars. Like I said, we'll have you back in the booth whenever we can. That part up to you. Obviously, I don't imagine it'll be too long between chats, so we'll see you on our screens in about 10 minutes or so. But yeah, till then, wish you the best of luck and good luck out there at Bristol.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, mate. Bye. That was Ken McLean, our first winner here tonight of our 2 races. The bottom feeder Speedco's Dirt Big Block Modifieds here at Knoxville Raceway this Monday night, Monday Modified Mayhem. I will get it right now. We've got the Monday Modified Madness. Sorry, it is now moving on to Monday Night Mayhem. That lobby opens up in 5 minutes, so we'll just jump over to the intro. We'll take a quick break. And pardon me, we'll burp a little and then we'll be back soon. Thanks for watching, guys.
The sun's barely gone, engine scream. Monday night don't mean no dream. Dirt track prep, clay packed tight. This town's awake for a full throttle fight. Steel and rubber, row on row. Different rides, but one thing's known. When the green flag starts to wave, only the fearless get brave. Tracks keep changing, setups too. New lines, new battles, nothing new. It's Monday Night Mayhem. Hear the thunder roar. Brought to you by Knuckleheadz Racing. Always wanting more. Cars are ready, drivers insane. Fearless under lights, born for the strain. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Hell yes they can. 1 week slick, next week rough. Short track tight, then a mile of dust. Late models, mods, sprints and fly. Every lap's a test on a Monday night. No comfort zone, no easy way. Adapt to get left in the clay. Grip disappears, lines fall apart. That's where you separate the men from the heart. It's a Monday Night Mayhem. No holding back. Knuckleheadz Racing, putting skill to the track. Under the lights, every move is loud. Fearless drivers, knuckleheads proud. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Broadcast live, calling every slide. Is Bob the man from down under, right by our side. Every pass, every bump, every stand, bringing the action coast to coast, lap by lap. When the groove fades and the cushion's gone, Knuckleheadz drivers just digging strong. It's a Monday Night Mayhem. Last lap stand. Engines wide open. Dirt on demand. Brought by Knuckleheadz, built for the test. Different rides, different tracks, still the best. Can they handle the changes? The chaos, the flame. Hell yes they can. Knuckleheadz reign. Knuckleheadz reign. Lights go dark, dust settles again, but next Monday night, Mayhem wins. The sun's barely gone, engine scream. Monday night don't mean no dream. Dirt track prep, clay packed tight. This town's awake for a full throttle fight. Steel and rubber, row on row. Different rides, but one thing's known. When the green flag starts to wave, only the fearless get brave. Tracks keep changing, setups to new lines, new battles, nothing new. It's Monday Night Mayhem, hear the thunder roar. Brought to you by Knuckleheadz Racing, always wanting more. Cars are ready, drivers insane, fearless under lights, born for the strain. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Hell yes they can. 1 week slick, next week rough. Short track tight, then a mile of dust. Late models, mods, sprints and flight. Every lap's a test on a Monday night. No comfort zone, no easy way. Adapt to get left in the clay. Grip disappears, lines fall apart. That's where you separate the men from the heart. It's a Monday Night Mayhem, no holding back. Knuckleheadz Racing, putting skill to the track. Under the lights, every move is loud. Fearless drivers, knuckleheads proud. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Broadcast live, calling every slide. Is Bob the man from down under, right by our side. Every pass, every bump, every stand, bringing the action coast to coast, lap by lap. When the groove fades and the cushion's gone, Knuckleheadz drivers just digging strong. It's a Monday Night Mayhem, last lap stand, engines wide open, dirt on demand. Brought by Knuckleheadz, built for the test. Different rides, different tracks, still the best. Can they handle the changes, the chaos, the flame? Hell yes they can. Knuckleheadz reign, Knuckleheadz reign. Lights go dark, dust settles again, but next Monday night, mayhem wins. The sun's barely gone, engine scream. Monday night don't mean no dream. Dirt track prep, clay packed tight. This town's awake for a full throttle fight. Steel and rubber, row on row. Different rides, but one thing's known. When the green flag starts to wave, only the fearless get brave. Tracks keep changing, setups to new lines, new battles, nothing new. It's Monday Night Mayhem, hear the thunder roar. Brought to you by Knuckleheadz Racing, always wanting more. Cars are ready, drivers insane, fearless under lights, born for the strain. Different cars, different tracks, same demand. Can these guys handle the changes? Hell yes they can. Hell yes they can.
Alright, BobbethTV is back. You know what it means? We've got one more episode of MOTO TV to come your way. We're heading on over to Bristol, USA for the Motor International Monday Night Mayhem round of the Next Gen Cup cars. Here, of course, at Bristol Motor Speedway on dirt. Got the practice session up, so I will be taking a short break. But we'll just get the cars up on your screen with the leaderboards so we can watch the practice together and do that. Spooky Meatball in the chat. How are you today? I'm well, Spook. How are you? I will be here, but I'm just putting that note up now. Oh, I'm muted. Thank you for that jump scare. You're doing well, very thank you. You had too much cake last night. It was your birthday, so now I can't sleep because of that. Other than that, very well glad to hear you. Good happy birthday, Spooky. Happy birthday. Josh Roberts, one of our drivers, it's his birthday today, so we wished him happy birthday earlier. Yeah, welcome. Happy birthday. Thank you for the jump scare. That did scare the shit out of me, despite me being muted. Alright, still about 7 minutes in practice left. 14 cars on the field here tonight. Kent McLean currently our quickest. He was our winner in the previous race. Teammate John Bennett, second quickest chap put by Matthew Lane. Brett Vanderwood rounding out our top 5. I'm just going to leave Glasuski. It's not hard. It's not hard, really. Let's face it. You know, I'm a scaredy cat. But I will be back in just 2 moments. just a minute to go in practice. Looks like 20.049, 19.744, Travis McDonald, 19.784, Chad Putbol. Some quick last laps, 19.466 for John Bennett. 14 cars registered for tonight's battle. There we go. Practice is done. We're going to move on over to qualifying now. We'll set ourselves up for our feature race with some heat racing. Ken McLean, first one on the ball with a 19.580. Then we've got some 19.6s, 19.631 for Dawson Potter, Travis McDonald, Chad Putterball, 19.644 and 19.691, respectively. Who's driving Dale Earnhardt's car? Didn't see that. We'll have to wait to the heat races. Mikey Mixter, though, has scored quick time with a 19.4. 420, sorry. That's the 8 Brett Bennett. We're going backwards. There's John Bennett. To get a time on. Looks like he's having a bit of trouble keeping that one straight. Triple Groove Racing. Tom Land, Wayne Bridges, John Bennett may have qualified but hit the wall and not been able to secure times. Okay, over to our first heat race with 5 cars. Our leaderboard sorted. Nope, that's not Grid Bob, that's Race Info. There we go. Mikey Mixter and Travis McDonald will be our front row of Heat 1 for the Next Gen Cup cars here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Brian Angel and Jonathan Fox for the second row. Third row is going to be Tom Land. This one is going to be interesting. Oh, Spooky, thanks for the resub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Looks like we're going to get this one going this lap around, coming through 1 and 2 down that backstretch. Pace truck will leave the track. We'll get our second lot of heat racing for the night underway. Next gen cup cars. This is going to be a little bit manic. Not really designed for dirt, these things. More at home on the asphalt tracks. Alright, pace truck leaves the track. We're going to get this one underway. Donald, Mikey Mixter, Jonathan Foxworth, Brian Angel, Tom Lamb. That's our 5-car field. Ford Credit 88, our race leader. They do look like they carry a little bit of speed on exit, get a little loose. The boys trying to contain it. I need to sleep safe so I can stream tomorrow again, but I keep you on alert. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll keep an eye out for that online notification. Try and check you out. I know our time zones are a little bit different, but hopefully try and tune in. Or the 91 gets up into the wall there. Tom Land trying to get past Jonathan Foxworth in third place as we get to lap 4 of 6. Foxworth also have a bit of trouble with the wall, as is Tom Land, Brian Angel. So it can be different to get the cars to set for the turns. Looks like Tom Land able to set that one a little bit better than Jonathan Foxworth. Got through the turn quicker, but Jonathan might have had the better exit, but up into the wall. That will cost him the spot. Tom will move up into third. Looks like Jonathan Foxworth going down through pit lane there. Come racing out the other end. White flag lap, last lap. We'll jump up to Travis McDonald and watch him see this one out. There's the checkered flag. Jonathan Foxworth 5th, Brian Angel 4th, Tom Lamb 3rd. Mikey Mixter second, but that man in the Ford Credit 88 quality care service machine. Travis McDonald is our Heat 1 victor of the MOTO International Monday Night Mayhem round of the Next Gen Cup cars here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Heat 2 lining up now. Ken McLean and Matthew Landby on that front row. Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis, second row. Third row is going to be it's going to be Wayne Bridges. Same deal, 6 laps, Bristol Motor Speedway, our host. All right, down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Pace truck should leave the track momentarily. We'll get this heat 2 underway. Ken McLean, Matthew Land front row, Brett Vanderwood, Wayne Bridges. Sorry, Brett Vanderwood, Mike Davis. Second row, Wayne Bridges on that third and final row. Off we go racing. Matthew Land trying to chase down Kent McLean, the Tasmanian Devil on the bonnet. I like that. Tasmanian Devil, of course, from my home state of Tasmania. Vanderwood trying to keep the speed on that car. That thing is getting loose. Camrys, Fords, and Chevrolets out here tonight. Each with their own little pros and cons as well. So not as simple as just getting in the car and getting out there and hoping for the best. Three to come. Ken McLean still our race leader, was our race victor in the big block modifieds at Knoxville earlier tonight. So looking to go back to back. Can he do it? Certainly setting himself up for that run. Vanderwood and Matthew Land battling it for second and third. Matthew Land falls back to third as Brent Vanderwood moves up into that second place. White flag lap. We'll jump back up to our race leader, Kent McLean. MP Plumbing Services 75 comes through 3 and 4 for the last time in heat 2. But he's going to wear that checkered flag here. He's going to secure that front row start. Wayne Bridges 5th, Mike Davis 4th, Matthew Land 3rd, Brett Vanderwood 2nd, but of course Kent McLean, our race victor in heat 2. So it carries over to our third and final heat, just 4 cars in this heat. That's what we're racing for, Victory Lane here at Bristol Motor Speedway, brought to you by the Bass City Shops, Boot City. Alright, our grid for our third and final heat for the night. Dawson Potter and Chad Putterball front row. Bryce Freeze and John Bennett will be on that second and final row. Time around the track we will go. Looks like it's Bryce. Ah, yep, the Good Wrench 3 machine. Dawson Potter, John Bennett, Bryce Freeze off to a good start this 4-car field. Dawson just up in the wall a little bit there. That has been a bit of an issue, set to get the cars to set. As they do carry a fair bit of speed into the turns, they will push up as you come through. So making sure you sort of have that exit run time is going to be very essential. Dirt Warrior Racing's championed by our racing leader, though in Heat 3, John Bennett for Triple Groove Racing in second, KHR's very own Dawson Potter in third, Bryce Freeze in fourth. Put about the 20 on our screens, the 7 on our screens, 20 on the leaderboard. 3 in, 3, 2 to go now, sorry. 4 in, 2 to go. And Chad hold off John Bennett. John's looking quite smooth there, but Chad just as smooth, which is good for Chad. Can't get any gain on someone if you follow the leader. White flag lap. And there it is, checkered flag. Chad put about John Bennett. They had a bit of a race to the line there for that finish. 0.058 of a second finish. Dawson Potter fourth, Bryce Freeze third, John Bennett just in second spot. Chad Puttable will take out the Heat 3 victory. All right, 35 lap main event, our last one for the night. Just one more race to come. It is the Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series. That is Tuesday night US, Wednesday morning Australian. That will be 12 noon tomorrow, live on BobbethTV. But still have this one to go. 35 laps of Next Gen Cup cars here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Motor International Monday Night Mayhem. We have Travis McDonald and Craig McLean qualifying on the front row. Chad Puttable, Mike Mix the second. Third row will be Brett Vanderwood and John Bennett. Fourth row qualifying is Tom and Matthew Land, father and son. Bryce Freeze and Brian Angel on that fifth row. Sixth row is Mike Davis and Dawson Potter. Seventh row will be Jonathan Foxworth and Wayne Bridges. Travis McDonald, of course, having the EOL. So the inside line upgrading. Chad Puttable will move himself up into pole position. That is not the promotion Kent would want. Generally, there's a few guys that if they do get that opportunity will not let it slip and will be a battle, but Chad Puttable is going to be one heck of a battle for Travis up there. For Ken McLean, sorry. This one will be good to watch. 35 laps, Bristol Motor Speedway. And go back to back with someone else and secure victory. We'll find out soon. All right, looks like we're coming into 3 and 4 for that last time before we get our 35 lap main event underway. Next Gen Cup cars here at Bristol Motor Speedway Dirt Edition. Banking dirt turns. This is going to be challenging as we get going. McLean, Chad Puttable, Brett Vanderwood, Tom Lamb, Mikey Mixter, John Bennett, Bryce Freeze, Matthew Lamb, Mike Davis, Brian Angel, Jonathan Foxworth, Dawson Potter, Wayne Bridges and Travis McDonald is the lineup. It looks like one of the boys getting squeezed up into the wall. That might be Mikey Mixter, I think. It is. He got off there pretty quick, got back up to speed. Bryce Freeze behind him with Mike Davis down below them. Is that behind him? That is the 7 of Brian Angel Yoda Outlaws drive. Oh, looks like someone big crash. Dawson Potter, I believe that was the 44. No yellow flag though. Yep, no, there it is. Let's see if that registered. I think it did. There's Dawson up high in the powerhouse 40, or the power hose, sorry, 44. Power aid 44. Bob, you're an idiot. Oh, just got clipped by the 88 down into the infield safety barrier. That's our first caution for the night. We will regroup, reset, and restart. All right, lined back up. Kent McLean and Brett Vanderwood on that front row. Chad Puttawasser on the front row. Brett Vanderwood job at second. Tom Lander, Mike Mix to third row with Mike Davis and Brian Angel on that fourth row. Fifth row will be Jonathan Foxworth and Matthew Land. Travis McDonald and Wayne Bridges on that sixth row. Seventh row is Bryce Fries and Dawson Potter. Oh, it looks like there's been a crash in one. As we've been rolling around, what's happened here? Crashes under caution are very rare. Oh, the 091 just turned down over the 88. That caused him to crash into the 92, caused a bit of an accordion effect. So just going to let them regroup. Delay the caution, get them, lined back up. Right, we've started our race again, Chad Puttawasser. Looks like he got caught up high, or there's a bit of an accordion effect back at the rear again. Some of those cars unable to get started. That was Brian Angel, Dawson Potter as that caution comes straight back out. We'll leave it on our restart cams. We didn't get off them. This one expected to be a little tricky. Cup cars, as I say, not designed for dirt, so they do carry a fair amount of horsepower. Excuse me. All right, into 3, 1 and 2 we go. This should be our last time around before we get this one back underway. It's going to be Kent McLean, Chad Putterball front row, Brett Vanderwood and Tom Land second, third row. Jonathan Foxworth and Mike Davis, Trust me, on Dawson, a pot on that fourth row, fifth row, Mike Mitchell, Bryce Freeze, and it'll be Wayne Bridges, Matthew Land, Brian Angel. Looks like John Bennett has unfortunately retired, maybe having internet issues, so maybe back. But right now is currently out of the race. 13 cars remain. But 4:35, still 31 laps to go. A lot of racing in these Cup cars still to come. The boys are going to have to be patient to get them up to speed, try and pick their lines. Cars not setting the way they like. Means change of momentum, cars coming up on you very quickly. See there, the 29 just getting past Mikey Mixter. There's Dawson Potter and Mike Davis. Behind them, Bryce Freeze, Brian Angel. From the back of the car there, looking into the field in the front. Cam McLean, Chad Putterball, Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald, Tom Land at the top 5. Jonathan Foxworth, Matthew Land, Mike Davis, Brian Angel and Dawson Potter, the 6 to 10, 11 to 13. Mikey Mixter, Bryce Freeze, Wayne Bridges, John Bennett. Unfortunately, looks like he has retired. Will secure the 14th spot. Oh, caution has come out. Yellow flag. Looks like Jonathan Foxworth, Mike Davis might have got caught up with each other. There they are. Oh, that's Matthew Land and Jonathan Foxworth there. Between the 091 and the 29 sends him up to the wall. Then the 99 comes into contact as well as the 7. And Wayne locks it up and just avoids contact. Well done, Wayne. Line up for our third restart for the evening. just rolling around, getting this one lined back up. Looks like it will be a single file restart potentially this time around. Third caution. Oh, no, some of the cars braking format, so maybe getting ready to line up or expecting the lineup. Pace truck's still out on the track though, so still one to go. Certainly single file restart. Kent McLean, Chad Bob, Brett Vanderwood, Travis McDonald, Tom Land, Matthew Land, Mikey Mixter, Bryce Freeze, Wayne Bridges, Brian Angel, Dawson Potter, Mike Davis, Jonathan Foxworth. That is our 13 car field. As the pace truck gets ready to leave the track, we're going to get this one back underway. Should go back to probably lap 10, I think, 11. Lap 10 of 35. Straight to our race cam so we can catch the action as it happens. Chat not working. Up 12 of 35. Looks like they're getting themselves back up to speed, racing for 2 green flag laps. A couple of the guys up in to the wall. Brian Angel, Bryce Freeze. Yeah, so Tom Lamb down to the 91 Motor International Red Machine. He is currently 7th. See Mikey Mixed to the 9 on the leaderboard, 0 on our screens, are just ahead of him there. Racing up a little bit, just jumped on the levels. Foxworth, the B-Main Bandit, currently in the top 10 spot as we jump up to Travis McDonald's car. There's Matthew Land. He's in the top 5 position. Travis is in 4th. There we see Brett Vanderwood just ahead of Travis and Matthew Land. Coming up on the halfway mark of this race, we have had a bit of green flag racing going on. It's been some good battles as the cars got themselves up to their own race speeds, starting to hit the marks they need to hit. Lane's breaking away from Chad Bob, but they have broken away from Brett Vanderwood in 3rd. Control, an absolute must. We see there the 091 that was pushing up the track. That was pretty much probably the most amount of speed you want in that situation. Just pushing up enough not to hit the wall, but enough to sort of keep as much of that speed on. A little bit higher on entry there for Tom Land as he battles Dawson Potter. 7th and 8th, Bright Angel back there in 9th. See there on the track map, Kent McLean just coming up on lap traffic in the form of Bryce Freeze and Wayne Bridges. Jonathan Fox with the B-Main Bandit. Looks like he's unfortunately had to retire. So we're down to 12 cars remaining, 11 on the track. Bryce Freeze, I think, is in pit lane, or there might have been a crash there. 88 Travis McDonald might have been involved in that as well. Let's have a look. racing it through the slick, car pushing up, just over rotates as it comes back down the track, comes into contact with Matthew Land in the 091. That brings out our latest caution. Green flag run there though, got us to lap 19. Single file restart, you would imagine. Ken McLean, Chad Puttable, Brett Vanderwood, Mikey Mixter, Tom Land. The 1 to 5, the 6 to 10 is well, sorry, the 1 to 6 will go because Tom Land, Mike Davis, obviously top 6. 7 to 12, which is our remaining drivers: Wayne Bridges, Matthew Land, Dawson Potter, Brian Angel, Travis Biddle, Bryce Freeze, Jonathan Foxworth, and John Bennett have locked in the 13th and 14th places respectively. Unfortunately retiring early. Wish them the best of luck and hope to see them back on the track tomorrow night for the Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series. Looks like we're going to go into 3 and 4 here. Pace truck will leave the track momentarily, and we'll get this one back underway with 12-13 laps remaining. 14 laps remaining, lap 21 at 35. Bringing up for race speed relatively quickly, and our single file does make it a little bit easier. So keep loose there on exit, carrying a lot of speed through the turn. This one Bridges, Dawson, Potter, they're battling for 8th and 9th. Brian Angel back there in 10th, coming up on quickly as well. Someone down into the infield wall. That's the 11, Bryce Freeze. Is got himself to the pit lane before the caution was called. 23 of 35. Wayne up into the wall. Dawson and the 99 Mike Davis, a little bit of door-to-door action themselves. And 92, a little bit of door action. 99 got into the wall, and that sort of had the forced Wayne to check up, the 92 to check up a little bit, and the 7 did come up on him quite quickly there. The 88 of Travis McDonald has not been his night tonight. Well, both nights, and sort of been around that top 10 spot. Finished 8th in the prior race, if I remember correctly. Just 10 laps remain in this 35-lap battle. Next gen Cup cars here at Bristol MOTO Speedway. Wayne Bridges got really stuck on the wall there. Lost the 9th spot to Travis McDonald. Lost the 10th spot to Brian Angel. Bryce Freeze still in the pits, so the 11th spot will be his for the time being. Well, not on the track map, not letting Kent get too far ahead, but still it is a 1 second lead. by side. Mike Davis and Travis McDonald, the 88 to 99. What a battle. Travis goes for the slider line, but might have carried a little bit too much speed through and hit the wall, but looks like he was able to keep most of that speed on the car despite the contact. And has locked in that 8th place transition. Dawson Potter up there ahead of him in 7th. Now is the next target. Pulled Tom Land into the wall. Travis very lucky to avoid contact there. As caution comes out with almost 5 to go. For everyone to get set back up. Bryce Reeves still in the pit. Just 11 cars remain in this battle. Ken McLean, Chad Woodball, Brent Vanderwood, Mikey Mixter, Matthew Land, Dawson Potter, Travis McDonald, Brian Angel, Wayne Bridges, Mike Davis, and Tom Land. 11 cars on the field. Bryce Reeves in the pit still. All right, let's get this one back underway. It's still about 4 laps remaining, so enough time to try and make a move on the guy starting in front of you, but it will be single file, so it really is going to take the best reaction times to get that start as you possibly can. As soon as that car in front of you fires, you want to be right there behind it. Pace Trackers left the track. We are green. It is 30 of 35, still 6 laps, 5.5 by the time these words leave my mouth. Back there in third. Mikey Mr. Matthew Land, 4th and 5th behind him. Up ahead of him, Chad Puttable and Kent McLean, 2nd and 1st. Travis McDonald and Dawson Potter, I think a little bit of contact there. Doesn't look like it really upset the racing. So Bryce Reeves might have crashed again. Dawson Potter is in pit lane. He does have the meatball flag, so that's not good for him. Won't drop any positions just due to the laps remaining. 11th place will be his finishing spot. Chad is making a run on Kent though, so we are going to jump back up to the front. and just watch this last little battle play out. It is about to be the white flag lap. Chad Puttable versus Kent McLean here. Chad not able to set up a run. Will bring home second place instead. Our 35 lapper here in the Exchange Cup Cars Bristol Motor Speedway. Our broadcast for the evening is very close to an end. All of our racing is done. We just need to talk to that man there, Kent McLean. We'll be taking the EOLs next week in both Monday night races. Get the results up on the screen. John Bennett, Triple Group Racing in 14th. The B-Main Bandit, Jonathan Foxworth, 13th. MoTo Mafia's Bryce Freeze in 12th with Cad Charles, very own Dawson Potter in 11th. Motor International's Tom Land in 10th. MoTo Mafia's Mike Davis 9th. Wayne Bridges 8th and Travis McDonald 7th. Brian Angel for Yoda Outlaws in 6th. Our top 5 bottom feeder Speed Coast. Mikey Mixter 5th. Motor International's Matthew Land 4th. Yoda Outlaws Brett Vanderwood in 3rd. Chad Puttable for Warrior Racing in 2nd. But Triple Groove Racing's Kent McLean gets the back-to-back victories. Monday night is his. Let's get on over to the booth and have another chat. There it is. All right, we kept that seat nice and warm for you here tonight. Wasn't not quite the same sort of build to the race that we had in the prior race with the big block modifieds, where you were a lot more. Well, not that you were dominant in practice and qualifying and in your heat races, but coming through via the. You came through via the third heat race, actually, didn't you? I think.
Honestly, I don't
No,
even remember, Bob.
second. I'm looking at the wrong number there, but wasted little time getting that car into the race lead and really sort of figuring it out. It looked like I think obviously goes without saying throttle control was the order of the day, but trying to I see a lot of the guys were trying to figure out what was better, you know, that turn right to go left, sort of setting it angled, or that sort of more modified UMP approach of keeping it a bit straighter, sprinter sort of approach of keeping it a bit straighter through the turns. It looks like it was the latter for you. The straighter you kept it, the sort of the better the better it handled, the less it pushed up out of the exits towards that wall, things like that.
Yeah, they were definitely a handful. If you didn't kind of pitch them in, um, then you would push really bad. And then, of course, toward the end, it felt like I had no tire left. And Chad was catching me. But I was just trying to keep it in the moisture. And a couple times I about goofed up majorly. So luckily, a few of those times I actually had a decent lead enough to gather it back. And he caught me, but he wasn't able to get around me.
Yeah, enough speed to catch up and then sort of put that pressure back on, but not enough to solidify a run or look at that slider or things like that. And I think it was sort of similar issues. I think that it was just tough all around. Like I said, coming into the race, it's going to be one of those ones where if you're barely hanging on, you're not going fast enough. And I think that was pretty much the case for a lot of you guys tonight, where it was controlled mayhem. Or barely controlled mayhem in some cases, where like I say, it was not having your own lane choice really did seem to affect a lot of people's momentum, and that had a lot of guys racing up on other guys, looking to try and avoid them, and there was a bit of contact in that sense. Was it the banking that sort of made it hard to set in the turns? So I know obviously that the higher the banking, the sort of the more awkward those turns can be, and I know for me, I like to try and make it overturn, so I'm driving out a bit lower because of that push. But were the banks a bit of an issue this evening?
No, I think it was a lot of, obviously it's just asphalt car, and I don't know how much
Yeah.
they changed as far as the setup. So, it's basically got a fixed axle. So you really realistically don't have more or less rear steer. Um, so, but you would have to really throw it in, um, to get, once you got it set, it was fine.
Yep.
But if you missed that mark of entering in, it would just push straight to the wall. But yeah, I mean, when we first got into practice, I was like, oh God, I better figure this out quick. So, but it took me a few laps, but yeah, I mean, I kind of got the gist of it down, and then played around with what lines were faster. And then toward the end, Chad had that bottom working. Um, and I know I kind of tried to stay off the very bottom because I knew in practice every time I did, I spun it, I looped it around. So
Yep.
I was like, nope, not today.
Not going to attempt it. Nope. No, I think that last caution. I think there was a couple of middle green flag runs, but that last caution with about was it that lap 30 with a 5 or 6 to go. I think if that one hadn't come out, then yeah, I feel like Chad might have been able to build a bit more of a consistent sort of momentum build and potentially have something for you. It looked like uh, coming up like that the initial build of acceleration from that restart. It did feel like Chad might have had not so much the edge, but definitely his reaction time was on point and was looking to sort of drag that in. But like you say, it was definitely a case of I think with a lot of the drivers who were challenging the cars in front, plenty of speed and control to catch up to someone, not so much enough to really set and use those extra skills like the slider line or holding it down tight. You couldn't hold it down low and really push it because it would push up and we saw that a couple of cars coming up into other cars as well because you don't see them till too late. So yeah, you really had to pick your moments and pick your style, and it did lend itself to some great one-on-one racing when there was that on the track. We had a few guys sort of unfortunately lost, but likewise again, Travis McDonald just really stuck in that back half of the field, more traditionally in the front half of the field, but that field was just so tough to race against that Matthew Lamb top 5 run here tonight. Mikey missed the top 5. Wayne Bridges just outside. He's another one that's just outside that run, looking to break that glass ceiling. And it's great to see that even in cars that are challenging, that aren't regular league sort of ran events. 14 of you went out there and really put on a great show and made it look a little bit easier than I imagined it was. I imagined it was a lot more white knuckle and by the skin of your teeth than it looked. I mean, it did look pretty crazy as it was. But we've got one more round.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, you go.
so yeah, it was the first 20 laps was fine, and then after that, it was bad. It was all I wanted to hang on to that car, and it was definitely white knuckle run.
Well, we couldn't really go from more extremes this round. I guess the two closest cars would be the UMPs last night and obviously the big block modifieds earlier tonight. We go from the big block modifieds to the next gen cup cars tomorrow night. Moving on over to the limited late models at Limaland. So Limaland, a good little late model track. So that's going to be a fun one. But limiteds, it's going to be a bit of a harking difference from the power output that you've been used to tonight. Yoda Outlaws Late Model Series. Looking forward to that one. Tuesday nights, hit and miss. Do you think we'll see you there?
Yeah, I'll try to make it. Yeah, so I'll more than likely make that race.
Yep. Excellent.
But it definitely is going to be different from going from pros and from
Especially the
supers.
supers.
So
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you go from using throttle control, and the limit is you still have to use throttle control to an extent, but you just don't have the power to like run the low line like I do, or if you do, it'd have to be obviously on a little bit bigger track
Yeah.
to carry the momentum, and it kind of makes up for the corner speed. So, but yeah,
No,
it should be a good one.
looking forward to it. As I say, it's when it's when it's a track that I like. I enjoy watching the late models on. It's always good. So knowing the group of drivers that we will pull for that series just adds to the excitement. I can't wait to watch that one. The final final race for the racing week is what I was trying to say. Now we heard about them earlier. Can never hear about them enough. Friends, family, and sponsors, my man. Who do you want to give a shout out before we let you wrap up?
Yeah, the wife and kids for letting me do this. You, Bob, with the broadcast. My team, Mach 5, KP Plumbing Services, Mikey Mixer with the Bottom Feeder Speed Company for the logos on my car. All the guys and the admins at KHR for week in, week out, what they do and show up. So we appreciate it.
Right. Could not agree more, my man. Well, congratulations. It's taken a few weeks for us to get a couple of back-to-back winners. I think we had one last week in Travis McDonald, you this week for the Monday Night Bragging series. So you've got the EOLs for next week. Good luck with that. But we've got the late models, obviously, to get through first. So we'll see you again tomorrow night. Best of luck, as always. Have you back in the booth when we can. And maybe give one of the other guys a go in between. But we'll have you back whenever we can.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye. All right, that was Ken McLean, our winner here tonight. Both races, the bottom feeder Speed Co's and Monday Modified Madness, as well as the Motor International Monday Night Mayhem. There are so many M's in those series names. That is crazy. I'm sure they did it on purpose just to mess with me. But my chat has messed up, so I can't sort of see who we've been chatting with. But I want to thank everyone for coming out on their spookies. Thanks for the sub. Griff was there. He's off lurking. Kelly McKellen, Chris Automotive Mafia, Kenneth McCain for the likes and the shares. We'll be back again tomorrow. I should be live tonight at 6 p.m. So in about 5 hours' time, playing God of War on Twitch. So please follow me on Twitch if you want to check that out. But until then, you know the drill. My name's Bob. Love is all. Boy.